What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Time to talk about the new fusion because it's near the corner. I warned you guys, make sure you're saving your shards. Get prepared for it to don't be caught in a bad situation where you're gonna be hit by a paywall. You're gonna have to open shards for every fusion, right? So we gotta be prepared. Now, this fusion is not the fusion that we were expecting for the month of August. It's not the ultimate Death Knight. I'm not sure how exactly they're gonna introduce that champion to the game as a guaranteed event, as a 7 days login champion, as another fragment fusion during the month of August. We've seen months where we actually had 2 fusions, or they're gonna have a totally different way, or they're just gonna add it to the shard pool and whoever gets lucky, you know? I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that. Now, from what we've seen in Chosen's video, where he actually got to interview the Death Knight, he seemed pretty confident that he's gonna be an OP champion, a legendary champion, right? So I'm very curious to see all that. Now, before we move over to talk about the fusion that we're gonna have, guys, I just wanna let you know I partnered up with Soundstripe. They have an amazing music library. So if you're a content creator, a music enthusiast, looking for some new music, especially to drop on your content, definitely head over and check them out. The link will be in the description down below or in the pinned comments. Plus, I can save you 15% on checkout by using code Skratch. Now, Palladium actually released some juicy news today. On Thursday, August 4th, we're planning to launch a fusion event of a new champion, Lona Tauril, Faction High Elves, Rarity Legendary, Type HP Affinity Force Champion. So, Lona Tauril is the champion that will be helpful in PvE and PvP content. Let's go through the kit. So basically, they're saying what exactly can the champion do with the kit. With the A1, attacks one enemy, decreases the max HP by 30% of the damage inflicted, and shields your most injured ally. This skill will help you fight against the Scarab King, as the skill itself has a built-in destroy set. That's pretty good considering that he's an HP based champion. It's gonna be fairly decent. It's not gonna be a champion that's gonna get one shot like Vlad, for example. It's pretty useless there, even though he has some similarity in his kit. With the A2, Lona Tauril attacks all enemies and shields your team for 3 turns. If any of your allies are dead, the shield can be removed neither by enemies nor by allies like Seer. Sounds pretty interesting, so even if you're using Seer, you're not gonna drop that shield. This skill will once again help in fights against Scarab King and Demon Lord's A3 turn shield will basically have your team permanently protected. Now the shield probably is not going to be that big, we're going to check that in a second. Lona Tauril's A3 allows him to buff the team with increased crit damage and then team up with all allies to attack a target enemy. So we have ally attack right here for a full team. That's awesome. That's going to work on Hydra too. Okay, so that's going to work on Hydra with 5 allies. So all allies, which is pretty badass. I would assume that because it doesn't mention that they need to be 3 allies or 4 allies. If you don't have a great team for Clan Boss as well, he's gonna help you there pretty good. If you don't have a great team for Clan Boss, he's gonna be pretty good in there as well. And in a bit out of meta, but still fun, blender teams in Arena. With the help of the passive skills, Lona Tauril deals more damage to enemies under shield. On top of that, he has a high HP aura for Doom Tower battles, which we're gonna check in just a second. Now, just by listening to all that, the champion sounds pretty decent, right? Ally attack is always good, having crit damage. Scarab King is still an issue for a lot of people. He is a pretty annoying boss all around, you know? So here we can actually see his kit better. We can see the design on the champion. It actually looks pretty cool. I can show you actually a better picture right here. Now the whole idea with the champion, guys, if you're gonna need to crack on the Scarab King, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be solid there. He is the right affinity, at least for one of the rotations, if I'm not mistaken. I think one of them is Spirit, but I might be wrong. Maybe I don't remember it correctly. With the A1, he can just knock down slowly the shield. He can place shield on himself if you plan to use this champion to solo it. I'm pretty convinced that he might be able to solo the Scarab King on a regeneration set. I feel like he's gonna do a pretty good job since the shield is gonna drop from his A1 already. The A2 is decent, so I'm gonna quickly read it because it's a bit different than the way they actually worded in there. Attacks all enemies, places a shield buff on all allies for 3 turns equal to 20% of this champion's max HP. If there are any dead allies, places a shield buff on all allies for 3 turns equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. Now, whenever you see this champion's max HP, that's always good because that means that if we build this champion with a lot of HP, we're gonna get a nice shield. When champions having their kit places a shield buff equal to 10% of each ally's HP, that's rubbish, okay? Because if they're gonna have 30k HP, a 3k shield is pretty much nothing. So it's nice to see that the champion has the shield based on his own HP. This buff cannot be removed, stolen, transferred, spread, or have its duration increased or decreased by enemies or allies. Now, this wording here, I'm not 100% sure if it's meant only if one of the allies are dead. If that's the case, that means that it's not going to be great for an Infinity Comp team, just for the simple fact that you cannot increase the duration or anything like that. If it's only meant for the part where we have dead allies and it's going to work for the first part, it's going to be pretty solid because you're going to run the Infinity Comp with ally attack as well in it, more ally attack basically. So I feel like it could have some nice potential as a champion. Inflicts more damage against targets under shield buffs. Fairly decent. This is not going to work on the Fire Knight. It's not going to work on the Scarab King from what I'm aware of, because that's not considered an actual shield. Usually when we try different champions that have some sort of similarities in the wordings in their kit, it's not working against that. But it might work better against champions in arena. Now it's only his own damage. So if he hits hard with the A2, then yeah, we can actually see that we're getting extra damage. Increases ally HP in Doom Tower battles by 35%. That is a pretty good aura for the Doom Tower. One thing that I want to mention, so this is not going to be a fragment fusion, it's not going to be a classic fusion, it's going to be a mixture. Please note that the format of this fusion will be different, but already familiar to you. Just as usual, you'll need to fuse the legendary champion from epic champions. So we're not sure how many epic champions, if there are 4 different ones, if it's 1 and we're going to need 4 copies, 2 and we're going to need 2 copies of each. We are not sure 100% yet. We don't know how good the epics will be. Seeing the epics might put a lot of you guys on pause, being like, okay, I feel like this epic is gonna benefit my account more than having this legendary champion. So once I'm gonna know what epic champions are gonna be used in this fusion, I'm gonna make sure to drop a guide on them, guys, just to make you aware if it's worth it for you to actually attempt to get this fusion done, or maybe keep one of the epic champions, depending where you are in the game. Now, the epics, you're gonna have to summon them from fragments. We had, I think, if I'm not mistaken, a couple of fusions similar with this one, and they were pretty hardcore. One of them was very hardcore because you didn't have a lot of room on the epic champions. You couldn't miss any events, if I'm not mistaken, on the fragments. You needed to be on point to make sure you're getting the fragments, because they weren't 150 fragments. I think they were around 115 or 120 per epic champion. So you really didn't have a lot of room to wiggle on there. Very curious to see the epics as well. The legendary seems decent, okay? Don't expect it to be like God tier or anything like that. It's a fairly decent champion. I'm not sure what sort of multipliers we're gonna get out of his A2. That's on a 5-turn cooldown unbooked. So probably it's gonna drop down at a 3-turn cooldown fully booked. This is gonna drop down at a 4-turn cooldown fully booked, the finest hour. So overall, sounds as a decent champion. We don't need accuracy for him, so that allows us to build him with a lot of HP. For the Doom Tower, I feel like he's definitely gonna be pretty solid. If people are struggling with the Scarab King, I really have big faith in this champion, considering that his kit is built all around it. So I feel like he's gonna be able to solo it, and if he's not necessarily able to solo it, he's gonna offer you the right support that you need in order to get that challenge done, you know. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about the champion as well, and if you guys are tempted by it or not. I'm a bit disappointed in all these fusions, man, because we're not getting any skinwalkers, you know. Like, I know we got a couple of champions added recently. We are getting Cleopteryx as a free champion. Even epics, we don't have a lot of epics. They don't have tons of different champions. We did had a guaranteed event on Ragash, but a lot of people were not able to get the champion. I haven't got the champion either because I didn't have the shards for it. But just all around, I feel like the high elves, they have quite a few champions. We got Deliana not long time ago as a free champion. We got Alexander as a free champion. Pixniel was a fusion. Yannicka is a champion from the clan shop. So all around, I feel like we actually got quite a few high elf champions, considering that we're getting Arbiter. I wish that we would get some different factions as well. And I've seen that recently, most of these fusions, they've all been HP based, which I appreciate that, because when you're looking at an attack based champion, you see their stats are not that great. They're harder to keep alive. So people that are looking to progress to the game and kind of like advance, they're going to have a bit of an issue with that. So having HP based champions, even if they don't really feel the right role as a crazy damage dealer, I feel like it's still better overall for progression, you know. So I appreciate that from them. Now let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the fusion, guys? And of course, what do you think of the Ultimate Dead Knight event? How we're gonna get that champion? You think he's gonna be summonable from shards only and that's it? Or we're gonna have some sort of special event on how we can actually get a champion, like the entire community? But that was all for this video, guys. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.